We received a phone call from this stranger on my husband's phone, and he just said, your son has been stabbed.
For Shushma Mananda and Rajiv Singh, this basketball court in the suburb of Tarneet in Melbourne's west brings back painful memories.
Ryan said, "Mommy, I love you. I've been stabbed and I think I'm dying." So that was something that no mother should ever hear from the child.
In July, their son Ryan Singh was playing basketball here when his parents say he was set upon by a group of machete-wielding teenagers in a random attack.
I drove till the crime scene there, and it was very, very horrifying there. Seeing at the Ryan lying down and the blood everywhere.
Ryan was rushed to hospital where doctors were able to reattach his 2 severed fingers. His parents say he doesn't want to talk about what happened.
I used to feel safe, safe community, safe everything. That feeling is gone.
The frightening incident is among the latest in Melbourne's escalating youth knife crime wave.
A Year 9 student has been left for dead.
A 16-year-old stabbed to death.
A 14-year-old boy has been ambushed and stabbed to death in Melbourne's northern...
Victorian crime data shows the number of violent crimes committed by young people is the highest it's been in a decade.
The number of young people who have been admitted to hospital in Melbourne following a knife attack has surged in recent years. According to Victoria's latest hospital admissions data, the number of teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19 who spent at least a night in hospital following a knife assault has increased by more than 130% in the past decade. The majority of those victims were boys and young men.
20-year-old Junior is a former gang member and says things today are more violent than even a couple of years ago when he was on the streets.
Nowadays, kids are carrying machetes. Back when we were doing it, it was mainly like just normal shivs, like anything sharp that you can get your hands to.
He's trying to rebuild his life after walking away from the gang, but it's been tough. He doesn't want to reveal his identity because he's worried about his safety.
Yeah, there's a couple places out there where I didn't leave in good terms.
At the age of 14, Junior was living on the streets in Melbourne's western suburbs and ended up joining a teenage gang where selling drugs, stealing and getting into fights with rival groups became a way of life.
How does a 14-year-old kid end up in a gang?
Just getting mixed in with the wrong people, the wrong community.
Junior says the rise in knife crimes by teen gangs is leading to something of an arms race among members, with more and more children carrying weapons to protect themselves.
A gang member gets attacked by the opposition and by a knife. Obviously, the other gang that got attacked will definitely retaliate.
This year alone, there have been about a dozen high-profile violent knife attacks involving young people in Melbourne.
The chances in a population of 6.5 million people that live in Victoria being randomly stabbed are extremely low. However, if you perhaps socialise or participate in these youth gangs, then that's not the case. The chances are much, much higher.
G'day boss, we're heading over to
Senior Sergeant Robbie Adams is part of the Victorian Police Youth Outreach Program, which aims to help address some of the problems that young offenders may face.
A lot of it stems from dysfunctional families, drug and alcohol abuse, mental health issues.
Victorian Police have also launched Operation Alliance to dismantle violent youth gangs.
We currently have 598 youth gang members that we've identified in Victoria. 80 of those have been arrested over 10 times each in the last 12 months.
Amid increasing community concern about the teen knife attacks, Victoria's Attorney-General this month announced the government was backflipping on planned changes to laws that would have made it easier for young people accused of crimes to get bail.
Child bail reform is still on the agenda. This is not a backflip. This is just a pause. The practical effects of this are minimal, but I do not want a discussion about a youth crime crisis that doesn't exist.
Kids nowadays, they're not scared of committing crime because they're just going to get a slap on the wrist.
So you think it's a bad idea
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, to relax the bail laws?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Were there any consequences for your actions? Did anything happen?
Plenty. I've been arrested too many times too.
Were the consequences enough to deter you?
Back then, no. Me being under the age of 18, every time I got arrested, I didn't really care. Look, I would reoffend literally a day after or a couple hours after.
Often young people are seeking connection and seeking community. So we see them take to the streets where they form those connections.
After getting arrested and going to jail, Junior was connected with youth worker Taylor. He credits her with helping him to get his life back on track after he left the gang about 2 years ago.
Hi, Taylor.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
He was able to recognise that, he wasn't going to, move further in life and I guess reach his goals and what he wanted if he kind of remained in that scene.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, I'm happy for my family. I'm working. I can provide for my family when they're hungry. I put food on the table. I can pay the bills.
It's a bigger issue than just putting a young person in prison, and we need to link them in and make those connections, whether it's positive, role models, pro-social activities, helping them, identify and access, supports like mental health or alcohol and drug counselling.
We're not going to arrest our way out of that. We know that. But if we can intervene earlier about what causes those young people to make those decisions to carry a knife, and even worse, to use it, that will solve the issue.
For the Singh family, the attack on their son is a sign a tougher approach is needed to tackle youth crime. They want knife-wielding teenagers charged as adults.
If there is a tougher law, these people will think 3 times before they do it. They are committing a crime like an adult. They need to be treated like an adult crime.